We live in a pagan world. The truth is, the church failed. Though Jesus Christ is Lord, too few follow him. Most follow Satan, the prince of this world. The power of the holy people is breaking. Prepare now for the apostasy. Will you stand firm until the end? I am Jerry Davis. Welcome. I'm just reading about the Obama administration considering sending the United States National Guard over to Africa to join the American troops that he's sending over there already. And I can't really express how disturbing this is to me. And it's disturbing to you too, most likely. Sending American soldiers over into a seriously infected region of a foreign country is begging for those troops to become infected themselves. We've had doctors on the ground over there handling this illness for years, and they're coming home in plastic suits now. And Obama wants to send troops over there that have no experience with this, thinking perhaps he knows that they're going to become infected. There's no doubt. The guy Duncan that just came to the United States from Liberia, and to hell with the fact that he had Ebola, and he knew he did. He just came to the United States because that was his best shot at survival, and he didn't care if we all died as long as he lived. That was one of the most depraved acts of selfishness I've ever heard of. But nonetheless, these troops are going to go over there. They'll contract Ebola. They'll come back to the United States. They'll be quarantined for 21 days. As of today, the magic number is 21. Depending on what you read, it could be 42. And the bottom line is, there is no one anywhere who knows. No one knows how long the incubation period is. No one knows when and how it's even contracted and spread. We're running around like a bunch of blind fools on this. We have to really execute just some very fundamental protocols. And one of them is, you stop the flights into the United States from those countries where Ebola is a problem. Of course, with Barack Obama as President of the United States, if it's a black country that's being inundated with Ebola, well, he's not going to shut down flights to the United States from those countries. Or if it's a Muslim country, he won't do that either. If it was, Germany or the Netherlands, he would probably say, yeah, cut off flights. We'll stop the inbound flights from those countries, but not if they're black countries and not if they're Muslim countries. It's wide open. He makes sure of that. But he wants to send National Guard troops over there too. And the way I see it is this: you send over 4,000 American soldiers into a hot zone, and who knows how many of them will contract Ebola? Maybe all of them, maybe half. But just say it's a stupidly conservative number of 100. And they're all coming back to the United States, and he'll distribute them around the country too. They won't all be together in one location. That would make way too much freaking sense. Instead, say 100 come back with Ebola, he'll put 2 of them in every state of the union. Let's go ahead and spread the poison and distribute it as well as possible and infect as many Americans as possible. Then send the National Guard over there for a couple of reasons. One, so that you don't unnecessarily expose your frontline troops to a deadly disease, because you might actually have to fight a war at some point. And two, if you have the National Guard in Africa contracting Ebola and bringing it back over here to die, then you don't have National Guard troops in the various states to resist federal weapons confiscation efforts when Obama tries to sneak a medical martial law scenario in on us. And you know that's coming. That's coming. You can prepare for it. You can put it down on your calendar within 6 months or less. Watch, if the stock market collapses because of all this, they'll do something even more quickly. Nonetheless, if you're a flag officer in the military, I've got to wonder, when I was in the military, I remember holding up my hand, and I just remember something in there about the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Now, I realize that none of you had to actually fill in the blank, take a test on how to define an enemy of the Constitution so that you can all play stupid on this. And you can say, well, they didn't tell us what an enemy of the Constitution was. They left it up to us to figure that out on our own. And I was waiting for someone, maybe the president, to tell me exactly what the enemy of the Constitution is, because I'm too fucking stupid to figure that out all by myself. Somebody has to tell me what it looks like when we have political enemies of the Constitution of the United States, because me as a general or an admiral in the military, I just don't know how to figure that out, man. I went to West Point or Texas A&M, or who cares where I went to school. They never taught us what an enemy is. Because we have no values, because we don't actually stand for anything, we don't actually believe in anything, then a damned enemy is just hard to define. Now, if they're blowing up Chevron's oil pumping units in the Middle East, by God, that's an enemy. If they're trying to hack into the J.P. Morgan's databases, by God, that's an enemy. But if they're sending our troops, if they're signing executive orders, if they're trying to confiscate weapons, if they're trying to restrict prayer, if they're trying to cut the throats of the Christian community in the United States, just like ISIL is over there in the Middle East, and let's not get into that whole Benghazi weapons smuggling thing. Obviously, you mad crew of flag officers in the United States military didn't have a friggin' idea even then what was going on. We did have a couple of a general and an admiral get relieved of duty they wouldn't stand down. They were actually going to fight for their country because they could identify an enemy and they knew something was wrong, and they were going to act against it. But not the rest of you. Not the rest of you. You need your pension. Got to have your ribbons on your chest. Need those flags flapping behind your desk. People coming in, crisp salute, and you are the man. Yeah, the American people are watching. You can bet your ass on that. The American people are watching. This won't end the way it's scripted. I'm Jerry Davis.